Hello and welcome to the Daily Brown Bag. Today we're talking about our feature requests for Google Webmaster Tools. I'm Chad Hill and I'm joined by Adam Stetzer.
Hey, good morning, Chad. Welcome to the Brown Bag. It's kind of fun to be on the other side of this with us being able to ask for features. Being in the SEO reseller software business, we get feature requests every day. We know it's hard to keep up, but Google's actively seeking this feedback, Chad, and they have been asking webmasters on how they can improve Webmaster Central and the Webmaster Tools interface. There was an announcement on Google Plus recently. They set up a moderated submissions page where you can leave your feedback. We urge you to go and leave feedback and make your voice heard. We know several people are covering this, and there have been quite a few suggestions coming in. People really want to see more data, Chad, not just from the last 3 months, but they want to see more history going back a year. Barry Schwartz and many others have been requesting better communication around actions that Google has taken, both automated and the manual ones are covered pretty well, but to see if there was an impact of an algorithm update like a penguin or a panda so that people could log into Webmaster Tools and not have to infer that from the data, but just know directly from the source that that's happening. So Chad, I think we open up the discussion today. What are some of the features you'd be looking for from Webmaster Tools?
Yeah, well, there's really two things that I often am in Webmaster Tools looking at, and the first one is very similar to what was already talked about here, which is more data over time. Because what will happen a lot of times is that someone will come in, they'll notice something happening, and it takes 2 or 3 months for someone to see a trend, and by the time you're in Webmaster Tools trying to diagnose what did the impressions and clicks look like 4 or 5 months ago and what changes have happened since then, you'll find that by the time you get in there, a lot of the good trend data is already gone because you're not able to get as much of a look back as you'd like. So certainly I agree 100% with that. The other one is this being Google, of course, and they've recently rolled out and are testing the ability for them to sort through and look at my mailbox and know exactly everything about my life and organize it. It seems to me they could give us a little bit more advice on what to do with our website. So when you're logged in there, they've got a lot of factors in their algorithm, but if my site speed is holding me back, why not give me a warning there to say your site speed is in the bottom third of our bell curve or something, and you need to speed up your website. Or same thing, you have links that need to be looked at, and here's a couple examples. So I know there's always this concern about how much data they give, and they're giving away the secret sauce, but at the same time, a lot of us out here are just trying to make our websites better for our customer and for, of course, the audience in Google. And so I think Google really could do a better job in Webmaster Tools giving us some advice and tips and recommended actions. So those are my two. What about you, Adam?
Well, yeah, great theme. I want to carry that forward. Google has told us for a long time, understand your audience, write content, great content for your audience, and there's no better way to try to position your content for your audience than understanding the keywords around which they found you on. So there was this huge outcry, Chad, years ago when keyword level data was taken out of Google Analytics and it was all changed to not provided. And the line at the time was, well, go to Webmaster Tools to get your keyword data, and indeed there is keyword level specific data in Webmaster Tools, but at the same time that they shifted from analytics to emphasizing Webmaster Tools, they took away API access to that keyword data because you cannot pull keyword level data from the Webmaster Tools API. So my big request is, finish the job there. If you don't want to have keyword level data in analytics, which I personally think should still be there, I thought the reason for them removing it was fairly flimsy. But if you're going to point to Webmaster Tools as the official source for that, then you need to make the API in Webmaster Tools as useful as it was from analytics and include keyword level specific data there on your rankings. So that's an issue that's a sore spot for a lot of developers, because additionally to having an underdeveloped API, they then released, sort of unofficially, but it's on the official Google blog, a Python script you can use to actually scrape Google Webmaster Tools. And Matt Cutts came out and said, go ahead and use this, which is also very odd after years and years of saying, you never can scrape any Google property, and that being in a lot of the contracts and API terms of services. So I think the whole issue around the API access to Webmaster Tools is very muddled and poorly communicated, and it doesn't include some key data that it really should. So that would be my big feature request. Well, that's our brown bag today for what we think should be in Webmaster Tools. Again, we urge you to go and leave some feedback and let Google know what you're thinking, and we hope you've enjoyed our coverage today. We ask you to subscribe, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.